What's going on, guys? Martial Breakdowns here. Today I'm going to be breaking down some of the high-level awareness, scrambling, and takedown entries of world champion and 2020 Olympic champion Takuto Otoguro of Japan. Before we get started though, if you take something away from this video and you want to see more breakdowns of wrestling, MMA, and jiu-jitsu technique, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe so you can stay up to date with all my future uploads. Now, let's get into it. In this first clip against two-time national champion and two-time world bronze medalist Akhmed Chikayev of Russia, we see Otuguro hit an entry you'll honestly see him hit quite often if you watch him a lot. He shoots a sweep-like entry to Chikayev's lead leg, but notice something. Chikayev is tying up his right wrist, preventing him from locking hands. Otuguro penetrates anyway though, and snakes his hand around the inside of Chikayev's calf. Notice as he pulls the leg in and drives up to finish, Chikayev keeps his wrist. With Otuguro's head being outside, he can't drive across to the double while Chikayev keeps that far wrist secured, which limits his options to driving him over the captured post of Chikayev's leg. Watch how he uses Chikayev's own grip against him as a way to drive him over the captured leg. Knowing Chikayev won't release that grip on the wrist, he extends his hand down toward the mat, which off-bounces Chikayev enough for Otuguro to drive him to his butt. Chikayev immediately bounces back up, and since he's past the arm, he begins to cut the corner and stand up. Here we see a second problem. With Otuguro's shoulder to the outside, he lacks the ability to keep driving him over that leg to pin him to the ground long enough to transition to control. He tries pulling the arm back through, but there's no space. This is crazy though. He reaches back and catches Chikayev's trap, pulling him over his leg. Chikayev attempts a crotch lift, but since Otuguro initiated, he gets the points. In this next clip against Bajrang Punia of India, watch how Otuguro snaps him and again takes an angle toward that lead leg. He starts by controlling the elbow and pushing it across Bajrang's body. He hits a slight level change to fake the leg attack, which Bajrang reacts to by shooting his hips back. Otuguro capitalizes on it by turning it into a drag, taking the outside angle and shooting his outside hand to the leg. Now notice here, he doesn't even worry about locking his hands. All he worries about is getting elbow deep, which allows him to use the power lift finish by bucking his hips in to elevate Bajrang. Now, if you want more details on this power lift finish, I cover it in a couple of my older videos on both Cain Velasquez and Daniel Cormier, so be sure to check those out. Now, like I said earlier, you'll see Otuguro hit this outside angle entry a lot. Watch here how he hits it again against Bajrang after setting up with a hard snap. From the front headlock position, he uses a double overs tie-up before cutting the angle and dropping his outside hand to the leg. Bajrang attempts to turn in for a reversal, but Otuguro drives in hard and forces him to belly out. Now, this last entry is a really cool one that we're going to look at in some detail. It's an outside step high crotch entry. Notice Otuguro hits a hard snap and immediately angles to Bajrang's lead leg, faking an entry with his outside hand. Notice Bajrang circles immediately and reaches to tie up to re-establish contact. Now, pay close attention to the setup here. Otuguro breaks contact and takes a subtle outside step into just enough range to reach and secure Bajrang's lead leg with his lead hand. As Bajrang reaches to tie back up, Otuguro fakes the tie up with his rear hand as he begins changing levels, and he secures the lead leg with his lead hand, hooking right behind the top of the calf. He uses this grip to pull himself in and knee slide into a high crotch position. The cool thing about this entry is that it's relatively low risk because you secure the leg before you actually penetrate and enter into potential danger. You can set this up with a fake tie-up and entry from open, but there's also other options like switching your stance while in a tie-up and then clearing ties. The big thing to remember though is on the penetration itself, we're not doing a traditional knee over toe entry. Instead, you use the secured leg as a hook to pull yourself in by knee sliding with your rear leg. Just make sure you don't drop straight down. Really focus on sliding your knee in and getting your hips underneath your shoulders to maintain good position. Now, in Otuguro's situation, Bajrang actually manages to beat Otuguro's shoulder and begin to cut the corner. Otuguro stops this by reaching low on the calf, elevating and shelving the leg to threaten back exposure. Then he hops his right leg over Bajrang's knee, splitting the legs, and he's able to Turk the leg with his now inside leg and force Bajrang to belly out. That's all for this video, guys. If you took something away from this, please be sure to like, comment, and share. It helps the channel a lot. Let me know what content and concepts you want to see covered in the future. And as always, guys, thanks for watching and good luck training.